Hey everyone, and welcome. So today we are diving deep into the wild world of Indian superstitions, on Vishwas. But we're not going to do it with some boring old textbook. Nope. We're going to break it all down using this absolutely hilarious viral comedy sketch that just perfectly roasts all those beliefs so many of us grew up with. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so just picture this. You have an accident, a glass shatters everywhere, and you rush to the doctor. What are you expecting to hear? I don't know, maybe something about getting stitches, right? Well, in the universe of this comedy sketch, the doctor's official medical diagnosis is 7 years of bad luck. And that one completely absurd line, that's our way into understanding how comedy can tackle these really deep-rooted cultural ideas.
And really, that's the heart of what we're exploring today. You see, comedy isn't just about getting a quick laugh. It's actually this incredibly powerful tool for looking at and totally disarming our cultural anxieties, like all the ones wrapped up in superstition. When you laugh at something, you kind of take its power away.
So, the main concept we're talking about is Andvishwas, which literally translates to blind faith. And these aren't just, quirky little habits. These are really deep-seated beliefs about bad omens and all these unseen forces that are supposedly shaping our luck. They get passed down from generation to generation, and pretty much everyone has a story about at least one of them.
So how does the sketch do it? How does it make us laugh at this stuff? Well, it starts by taking these super common, everyday bad omens, we call them apshagan, and then just cranks the absurdity dial all the way past 10, like up to 11.
I mean, look at this list. Breaking a glass, the whole deal with the unlucky number 3, don't whistle at night, don't cut your nails after dark. These are the classics, and their familiarity is totally key. The sketch uses this shared cultural knowledge as its starting point before just completely taking it apart with ridiculous logic.
And this quote right here just brilliantly nails the punchline. So there's this old Hindi saying, "Teen tigada kam bigada," which basically means doing things in threes leads to trouble. So to avoid the bad luck of giving his grandpa medicine 3 times, the character gives it to him 4 times. And the result? Of course he died, but it was an auspicious death. I mean, it's dark, it's hilarious, and it perfectly shows the completely illogical conclusion you get when you follow superstition blindly.
Okay, so next up, the sketch tackles something even bigger, even more intimidating. Kala Jadoo, or black magic. Now, this is a concept that carries some genuine fear in a lot of cultures, right? It's all about curses and sinister, dark forces. But the sketch's version is, well, it's a little different. You can see the huge gap right here. The expectation of black magic is all sinister curses and powerful dark arts. The sketch's reality of black magic, it's a party trick that makes some guy's pants fall down. By creating this massive chasm between what we expect to fear and the silly reality they show us, the fear just poof, evaporates, and all you're left with is laughter.
And to really hammer this point home, the sketch introduces us to Manjalika, a supposed guru of black magic. Her ultimate, most powerful, most terrifying spell isn't some world-altering curse, it's just making pants disappear. This simple little gag completely demystifies the entire concept, turning a source of real fear into the butt of a joke.
But the satire doesn't stop there. Oh no. It moves on to another classic source of fear, ghosts. And this is where the parody gets really clever, because it becomes this brilliant commentary on the tropes you see all the time in Indian pop culture, especially in Bollywood horror movies.
So, let me ask you this. What do you think the sketch says is the most terrifying thing that could possibly happen in an Indian horror movie? It's probably not what you're thinking.
And there it is. The real horror is the fear that a super sentimental romantic song might suddenly erupt between the ghost and a little kid. It's a direct and absolutely hilarious jab at movies like Bhutnath. It's such a brilliant critique of that filmmaking trope that so often just kills any real tension in the movie. So the sketch points out this hilarious power gap. In Western movies, right, ghosts are possessing people, throwing furniture around, creating total terror. But in this universe, the ghosts are just comically underpowered. They're doing minor pranks like turning back all the clocks in the house, they live in a well and order takeout, and they even get guilt-tripped into being used as furniture. They're less terrifying and way more, domestic.
This quote from the ghost is just chef's kiss. Perfect. After meticulously setting 12 clocks back just to mess with a guy, the ghost gets so mad when the guy ignores all of them and only believes the one clock in his car.
The ghost frustration is so human, so petty. It's the complete opposite of what you'd expect from a terrifying supernatural being.
All right, so let's pull all these pieces together for the final takeaway. This is really about the whole function of comedy itself, and why laughing at all this stuff is just so incredibly effective.
Here's the formula, really, when you break it down. First, the comedy relates to us with a belief we all know. Then, it exaggerates that belief to a totally ridiculous extreme, like the grandpa story. This subverts what we expect. We expect fear, but instead we get a laugh. And in that moment, when we're laughing, we become empowered. We actually gain control over that fear.
So at the end of the day, when a powerful ghost gets reimagined as just a frustrated, whiny prankster, or when sinister black magic becomes nothing more than a wardrobe malfunction, that fear just loses its grip on us. Comedy gives us this safe space to confront these ideas and to see them for the absurdities they often are.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought. We've seen how this all works for cultural superstitions, but honestly, it's a powerful tool for anything that has an irrational hold over us. So the question I want to leave you with is this: what irrational belief in your life could use a good laugh? Thanks for watching.